The Gathering Storm is a 2000 novel by Elliott and is book 5 in The Crown of Stars, not to be confused with The Gathering Storm by Robert Jordan and I think Brandon Sanderson, actually, in that case. This came out several years before that. We still have our two main characters, Leoth and Elaine. We also still have secondary threads in Stronghand, Zacharias, Eva, Rosvita, and Hannah. Only the last two are really super interesting in this one. It's a very character-driven read, but many have kind of lost their charm at this point. Maybe they'll get it back, we'll see. Though I did actually like Songlan's stuff and Henry's stuff. I did definitely find that interesting. And it ends well, I think. Elaine is, of course, depressing and is no longer a noble heir, and Leoth can handle pretty much nothing and is heavily traumatized at this point, though she does have some interesting kind of spiritual adventures in this one. Be warned, the storm gathers is the whole book, and that story takes place over years with lots of shuffling since the threads weren't always lined up to begin with. For example, someone might be sick or a prisoner for a few months just to make it work and to all come together. We also know that Aoi will return to the world. We just get some pretty detailed story before we get there. But we've known that pretty much, I would say, for a good chunk of the series. This book itself is divided into two parts, but the second is much longer than the first. It is also unquestionably epic. In fact, it is unquestionably fat and slow in its epicness, which is something I prefer my epic fantasy from becoming. This is one of the reasons I don't read epic fantasy all that often anymore. It's just plodding, time-consuming, lots of stuff going on, very unfocused in a lot of ways. But it is really well written. I really like the world that Elliott has brought to life here. Really, the medieval bits of it, like really just like, oh wow, that's a nice touch from this medieval word, that I would recognize from being a medievalist myself. But it definitely has some dark moments. Definitely has some heroic ones, even though it is bloated. It does have some big battles. It has some families fighting family. And there are definitely some exciting things to come. And the next two books are actually, while they're still long, of course, they are noticeably shorter than the last few have been in the series. So maybe a bit more focused in getting to the end of it all. So I do look forward to getting to those here, hopefully sooner rather than later.